in Twitter or Facebook or any other app that you may have from a Western company and the Chinese one, that if the NSA or GCHQ thinks that you are terrorist, they can go to enormous lengths to try and get onto our phones. To judge. So this is really important. This is why we're doing it. And the judge can either say yes or no, or can ask some questions. And it goes up through a sort of very structured process also on the political side, ending up probably with someone like you or me, it'd be a minister having to sign off, is this really important? So there are safeguards, and with the Chinese Communist Party, you don't have that. It's just, are we interested? Are we going to do it? Yes, we are. And nobody in our system has any say at all about what's happening.
New Zealand has also banned TikTok from government-issued phones, and India has banned the app completely. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
And a reminder now of the hour's top stories. Japan and South Korea are vowing to resume diplomatic visits amidst warming ties between the two countries. And major US banks have injected $30 billion to rescue troubled lender First Republic Bank. The move is an attempt to restore calm and stabilize the market following a volatile week. And that's the latest world news from Feature Story News. I'm Nina Maria Potts in London.
Good morning, it's KCHW 102.7. Finally Friday, the St. Patrick's Day edition with the one and only Chuck Ritchie. All right, Chuck, you couldn't come up with any St. Patty's Day background.
No, I don't. Here, wait. I have it.
Oh, Lucky Charms.
There we go. How about that? That's me. I'll just hold it here the whole show.
Is that what you had for breakfast today, just to get in the St. Patty's Day feeling? You had a wee bit of Lucky Charms.
I did not. It just happened to be sitting there on the table.
No way. Just a coincidence like that. That's amazing.
Just a coincidence, yeah.
All right. Very cool. Very cool. All right. We're getting started. You can tell in the background when the news is playing, and we're almost ready to start the show because you can hear Chuck's dogs.
Mm-hmm. They like to get it out of their system before the show.
Right at the beginning, it's like, oh, it's time for the show. Woof, 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 woof. All right.
Well, it's exciting.
It is.
I bark sometimes too.
I couldn't get it to come back up. It wanted to pop up on my head, but since Chuck, I had a hat beside me, but Chuck didn't have a hat. I tried to put a little pink one on him, but it didn't want to stay there. Let's try it. No. That's the curse when you try to pick on somebody. I get the... Yeah, instead of green, it's pink. It doesn't really work, does it? All right, so let's take a look at that weather. Good deal of sunshine today. It looked a little hazy out there right now on the cameras, but it could have been that early morning light. You're going to top out at 51 today. Going to be really, really nice. Partly cloudy skies tonight, down to 30. Morning clouds and afternoon sun for your Saturday, 52 and 31. I have a friend who's actually having a yard sale this week, and the weather's going to be so nice. Sunday, 53 and 38 with cloudy skies. Monday right now, showers as you get up, 44 and 36. And then next week, you'll hang out in the mid-40s. But enjoy these temperatures in the 50s for the weekend. Pretty amazing.
Right?
Yeah, you getting excited for spring? Yeah? Yep.
I'm so over this winter. I'll tell you what.
What is your first spring project you have to do when the snow's gone? Well, it's almost gone in town, isn't it? Except in the corners.
I think my yard just needs a cleanup. Just a general
cleanup.
I had projects I was in the middle of doing when it started snowing that just got covered in snow, and they're still out there on the ground,
For the kids, for breakfast for the 17th of March, we have a whole grain bagel this morning, yummy yogurts, fresh fruit juice, and your choice of milk along with some cream cheese for that bagel. And then for the lunchtime fare, you can look for that typical stuff they always give you. It's usually a chicken this week, chicken on a bun. So chicken sandwich, french fries, carrots, fresh fruit, pudding, and your choice of milk. Again, that's what the kids are getting for lunch. Don't see any, events happening this weekend on the calendar, but feel free if you're with a group that's got an event this weekend, post it on our Facebook feed for this show, and we'll get it out to the masses for you. But no big events this weekend, but things will be changing soon. All right, we like to start off with a few jokes before we do any news or stuff like that. And, of course, we have St. Patrick's Day jokes. But first, Chuck, I did a St. Patrick's Day montage.
Oh, you did?
You're welcome. Oh, the dogs are excited about that. So here you go. It's only about 45 seconds, I believe.
Top of the morning, laddies. Let me cut you an Irish rose.
You really don't want me to have fun on St. Patrick's Day?
It is the closest that the Irish will ever get to Christmas.
I'm just Pete Green. I love St. Patrick's Day. I mean, it is the greatest holiday. I mean, it's a religious holiday centered around bars.
Woo! St. Patrick's Day. I love how they made the river green.
Actually, my nuclear plant did that.
I was looking for a reason to binge drink.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
I couldn't help but notice that your breath doesn't smell like alcohol.
Paint your whole body green.
The last St. Patrick's Day ever.
Irish people were nearly wiped out by a potato famine.
Same thing every year. Up at the crack of dawn, drinking, fighting, throwing up.
One Irishman said, "Could you turn the entire ocean into Guinness beer?"
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Have you been drinking?
Come from an Irish family. St. Patrick's Day was our big holiday. The night before we'd hang up our stockings. In the morning they'd be full of beer.
I'm from a big family. Yeah, well, not by Irish standards. Only 6 kids.
I don't drink, which is not what you're supposed to do when you're Irish.
Today, I'm going to be making green beer.
Angelina Jolie is excited about St. Patrick's Day. She adopted a leprechaun.
St. Patrick's Day. Cinco de Mayo for white people. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
All right. Pretty good montage, huh?
Nice. That was good. That was good.
I like the guy. I'm going to paint my body green. All right. Some St.
I guess we could do that on St. Patty's Day, too, couldn't we?
Yes.
Or when the last time we did it, we had fun, right, Scott?
This time I want to paint myself, though, Chuck.
You can't always get all the spots you can't reach by yourself.
That's true. But I've lost a lot of weight, so maybe I can this year.
Oh, there you go.
All right, St. Patty's Day jokes. You want to kick us off with the first one, Chuck?
I do. Yeah, did you hear that Ireland is the fastest growing country in Europe?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. Its population is always doubling.
How can Irish people tell when it's summer, Chuck?
I don't know. How can you tell?
The rain gets warmer.
Why shouldn't you iron a 4-leaf clover?
Why shouldn't I iron a 4-leaf clover?
You don't want to press your luck.
Oh. Did you hear about the Irishman who drank 100 liters of stout in just 30 minutes?
What?
No?
What?
No. They're calling it the Guinness World Record.
I love that one.
Okay.
Why can't you borrow money from a leprechaun?
Or Scott?
They're always a little short.
All right, this is a test, Chuck. What do you call a fake Irish stone?
What do you call a fake Irish stone, Scott?
A sham rock. Shamrock.
Oh.
Shamrock. Yeah. Okay.
And you can kiss it. Lip diseases are free.
Yes.
What do you call an Irishman covered in boils?
Gross?
A leprechaun.
Oh, that's worse than mine. This one's the best, though. Irish puns are so offensive. Offensive. Yeah.
Yeah. I do like that one.
All right.
Do you have to read it for it to make sense?
I think so. Because it's got the big O in front of it. Irish, that's why I tried to emphasize the O. Irish puns are so offensive. Better?
Yeah,
I could do it a couple more times, but no.
What's the difference between an Irish wedding and a funeral?
I don't know.
At a funeral, there's one less drunk person.
Just one, though. Why do Irish fight amongst themselves?
Why do they?
They can't find any other worthy opponents. I'm Irish. All right, I like the next one.
Like
this is the best one right here.
What do you call a big Irish spider?
I don't know, Chuck. What do you call it?
A Paddy Longlegs.
Paddy Longlegs? All right. What Irish and stays out all night?
I don't know, Scott.
Patio furniture. These are bad.
Oh, the barman said to Patty, "Your glass is empty. Can I get you another one?" Patty replied, "Why would I be needing 2 empty glasses?"
Why don't those leprechauns run?
I don't know.
They'd rather jig than jog.
Oh.
I don't know what that means.
A jig. Could be like a dance?
Could be something dirty in Irish. I don't know.
No, a jig is a dance.
Oh, okay.
Like a jig?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Ireland.
Ireland who?
Ireland due money if you promise to pay me back.
What does it mean when you find a horseshoe in Ireland?
What does it mean?
Oh, some poor horse is going barefoot. Pretty good. Right.
Are people jealous of the Irish?
Yeah, they're green with envy. All right, now you can do the punchline. Why are the Irish so concerned about global warming, Chuck?
They're really into green living.
Oh. All right, I got a long one. Are you ready? You got to pay attention. All right.
I'm paying attention.
All right. Patty says to Mary, "If you were stranded on a desert island, what would you like most to be with you?" Patty replies, "My Uncle Mick." And Mary asks, "What's so special about him?" And Patty says, "He's got a boat." There you go. Little Irish jokes there to get your St. Patty's Day started. There you go.
Not only was that a good joke, it seems like just a very Irish conversation.
It does. Oh, and he's got a boat.
Isn't it? Of course.
All right, moving on. A few news headlines this morning. First one, we got a couple assaults on famous people over the night. Def Leppard's Rick Allen was attacked outside the Four Seasons Hotel in Fort Lauderdale in Florida. He was, while smoking at a valet, a teenager who was hiding behind a pole charged the 59-year-old one-armed drummer from Def Leppard. Allen fell and hit his head on the ground, causing an injury. Max Edward Hartley, 19, was arrested, charged with 2 counts of battery, 4 counts of criminal mischief, and abusing an elderly and disabled adult. Allen lost his arm in a 1984 car accident, if you remember about that, in Def Leppard. He was in town
You don't touch Def Leppard.
Yeah, I wonder if he knew who he was attacking. It doesn't say in the story.
I will end you, kid.
Yeah. Especially somebody that's handicapped. That's that's not even fair. Allen was in town as Def Leppard was co-headlining a show with Motley Crue. Why would you put such a good band like Def Leppard with a band like Motley Crue? I was going to go to the show.
I agree with that statement.
You agree with it? Yeah.
I agree with that.
I was going to go to that show, but then I heard Motley Crue would be there, and I stayed home. All right.
You know, Def Leppard was such a huge part of my childhood. It feels really weird to hear you say elderly disabled adult.
Well, Chuck, I fall into that category. Hartley was arrested after he went to a nearby hotel and allegedly damaged numerous vehicles in the parking garage. Suspect was bailed out of Broward County Jail on Tuesday. Allen provided a sworn statement to police, and according to the report released on Thursday, and told them he does want to prosecute the attacker. I think anytime you get attacked, you should probably prosecute.
I think the whole country wants to prosecute him now.
Yeah. And then over the night, we had an actor from the movie Punjabi. Actor Aman Diwali was attacked and held hostage by a man with an axe and a knife at a gym in California. He was actually injured in several places with this. In a video of the incident, which is online, the male attacker, who's wearing a blue hoodie, can be seen clutching the arm of the 36-year-old actor, along with a tomahawk in the same hand. This all happened at a Planet Fitness gym. They're kind of like flying now, going to a Planet Fitness. It's kind of a dangerous thing. Lots of gym crimes happening and people being attacked, and it seems like it's always at a Planet Fitness. All right, assailant
Of course, it turns out he was just his trainer.
More crunches. All right. Assailant brandishes a knife in his left hand and yells at the actor and the people of the gym. Please respect us, he says. Give me water. I need water. You want to take advantage of me. And then he turned his back to Diwali, who then attacks him, even though he was already covered in blood. Attacker turned his attention away from the actor, and Diwali tackled him to the ground, and then other witnesses immediately rushed in to subdue the attacker. You probably, do not want to start this at a fitness gym.
Right.
Next worst, idea would be a dojo.
Robbing a gun store.
Yeah. Stop resisting, the men yelled at the assailant. Let's see. Diwali suffered several injuries, and you can see him in the pictures. Looks pretty bad. He's got stitches on his neck, his arm, and his torso, and, of course, was taken to the hospital. He's a former model known for his role in the 2008 Bollywood blockbuster Adota Kabar, and he's also appeared in Indian TV shows and Hollywood films. So, not very cool at all.
No.
All right. Let's see. Just a couple other news headlines. Russia to try and salvage wrecked U.S. drone. They're like hovering over the water there where it went in. Also, nuclear government says they deleted all the information on the drone before it crashed, so they won't be able to recover any sensitive data if that's what they're looking for. There's a nuclear power plant that, let's see, did I pop this one up? St. Paul, Minnesota. A Minnesota regulator said Thursday they're monitoring the cleanup of a 400,000-gallon leak of radioactive water from Xcel Energy's Monticello nuclear power plant. Company said there's no danger to the public.
Mm-hmm. Sure, yeah, everything's fine.
Uh-huh.
Quiet! I can't hear myself lie!
Then
nuclear power is clean and safe, they said. Yeah. It'll be fun, they said.
400,000 gallons of radioactive water in Minnesota. This is what happens.
Oh, is that what you want?
Yup.
Because that's how you get ants.
Is that funny? Or maybe not. All right. If you got clear skies like we did last night on both coasts, you can watch a small asteroid fly by Earth closer than the moon tonight. And it's also free on a live stream. Just go to space.com and you can watch that tonight. Near-Earth asteroid will pass close to Earth, and you can watch it live thanks to a free telescope live stream. Actually, this news story, it was on today's news, but it says it was last night that it passed by. So just ignore me, please. I hate that kind of stuff.
I did the same thing with the green comet that came by recently.
Oh yeah, you missed it.
I got the kids all excited. Hey, we're gonna go check out that comet. No, it was. Oh yeah, that was last week. Or last night. Yeah. That's the story of my life.
I did the same thing. I should have set an alarm. There was a rocket launch last night from the new Electron rocket, and you were supposed to be able to watch it up the entire East Coast, and skies were clear, and I forgot. I was so bummed.
Oh, no.
Because I have a fantasy about leaving the planet, and I think there's probably a few people out there that wish I would. All right, let's talk about this. Republican chairman of the House Oversight Committee published a memo Thursday alleging that Hunter Biden and at least two relatives were paid $1.3 million from an associate of the president's son who had links to the Chinese energy company. They're alleged to have been paid after the associate Rob Walker was wired $3 million in March of 2017 from a Chinese energy company affiliated with another company that Biden does business with. Recipients of the $1.3 million in payments were Biden, his uncle James Biden, and Hallie Biden, the widow of Hunter's brother Beau Biden. It's unclear what services were provided to obtain the exorbitant amount of cash. While the $3 million figure and the payments to Hunter Biden were reported almost a year ago, Comer's memorandum highlighted what the committee described as new evidence obtained from a subpoena of Walker's bank records. Two payments totaling $35,000 to Hallie Biden. Let's see. Committee is concerned about the information revealed in these bank records, he said, including why Hallie Biden, publicly reported to work as a school counselor, received money from Walker's firm. Hunter Biden acknowledged in a 2019 interview with The New Yorker that he and Hallie were romantically involved during that period, and he was just supporting her. Spokesman for Hunter Biden's legal team responded to a request for comment. Hunter Biden, a private citizen, they stated that has every right to pursue his own business endeavors, joined several business partners in seeking a joint venture with a privately owned, legitimate energy company in China. As part of the joint venture, Hunter received his portion of good faith seed funds, which he shared with his uncle and Hallie, with whom he said he was involved with, as I said, and they were sharing expenses. He also added the attorney, the account so dramatically listed by Representative Comer belonged to Hunter, his uncle, and Haley, nobody else. The thing I don't understand about this, there's probably some nepotism going on. I'm sure Hunter Biden born with the silver spoon in his mouth and all that kind of stuff. But how does this apply to our president, and why are the Republicans wasting time on going after this guy who isn't even in public office? It seems like revenge tactics for stuff that we can prove, for people like Trump. So
right, I think they're grasping at straws. That's
we're hoping to find answer. We're looking under rocks and hoping to find something. All right.
I mean, how many shady kids how many kids are there out there of rich people that do shady stuff that their parents have no connection to, you know?
Exactly. All right, moving on to bits and breaks on that cheat sheet I emailed you today, Chuck. First one was a topic for the show today. And maybe you could post an answer on Facebook, and we'll look back and see if someone does. Survey found that 1 in 3 dog owners would take a pay cut if they could bring their dog to work. So you can finish the phrase, I would take a pay cut if I could bring blank to work. All right. Now, Chuck, if you were working a real job instead of this volunteer job, what was something that you would take a pay cut for to bring to work?
I think the dogs is a good answer. But I don't know. My dogs are not public friendly most of the time. But
I had things like my big fluffy pillow.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
Yeah,
that'd be nice.
Booze.
Booze.
Something
a blanket
intoxicating
to go along with the pillow would be nice.
Yes, my cat, of course, Mooch, because I usually take the cat everywhere. Lots of cheese. I don't know why I put that on the list. Lots of cheese. A wood chipper.
It's always good to have cheese handy.
A wood chipper. Why do you think I want a wood chipper at the office?
In case an employee gets mouthy?
Yes. And my last choice of things I'd bring to work, I'd take a pay cut if I could bring to work, was a goat. And you know why?
Why is that?
Because I'd train it to be an interrupting goat. When someone asked me a question I didn't like, I just look at the goat. Exactly. All right, 4 things you didn't know. Chuck Ritchie, 4 things you didn't know yesterday. Yep.
Yeah. Did you know a fish can count to 4?
I did not. How do they determine that?
That was my. I think they're guessing on this one.
Yeah.
A study found the. What's that?
Oh, I was just going to say, there was a science story one time. It said fish can only remember things for 30 seconds, but that's so not true because, the fish every day when I walked up to the bowl would come to the top of the water because they knew they were getting fed. And if that statement was true, every time I walk up to the bowl, they'd have been scared.
Right. I saw a show about that once, and they took just plain goldfish and taught them how to navigate a maze.
See?
Yeah.
And
that takes memory.
Yeah.
So, and it took quite a while to get the fish to learn it, and then once the fish learned it, it did remember. It remembered it.
We're not saying they're smart. They're more like disc jockeys.
No. Right. Exactly. Someday we'll find our way out of here. A study found that bar customers finished a drink in 11.5 minutes with loud music compared to 14.5 minutes with normal volume.
Oh, crank it up. Make some money. There's a whole bar philosophy when you work in a nightclub. I DJ'd in nightclubs in Seattle forever, and the one bar I worked at the longest, they actually had a policy that I couldn't play more than 3 upbeat songs in a row. And then they wanted you to play something that was slower or something that people wouldn't dance to clear the dance floor so they'd go back and drink their cocktails. Kind of evil.
Oh.
Kind of evil. All right. What else you got?
I was at a store yesterday, a special store for adults, and they had their music cranked up so loud that it was like a rave in there. It was crazy. The glass display cases were rattling, and yeah, it was
Nice.
insane.
All right.
I think all the employees had been using the said inventory at the time.
All right. What do you got next? I think you have one more?
Yeah.
Two.
May 30th, 2003, the Washington Post misspelled the name of the National Spelling Bee winner.
Oh, insult to injury.
That is hilarious. And did you know that the British invented ketchup?
No. That doesn't seem like something they'd come up with. All right.
I would have assumed it would have been the Germans, actually.
Yeah, it seems more like of an angry comment. It must have come from the German condiment. It comes from the Germans. All right.
And then, the Heinz,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Things to never tell an employee. Oh, so if you ever had a heartless boss, you might be able to relate to one of these. I remember when I worked at KKZX during a staff meeting, the boss told like 14 of the DJs that he could have a crew of monkeys that would be better on the radio. And I just thought we should have all started making monkey sounds. I was ready, but no one would go along with it. All right. So things bosses have said, is this really the best job you can do?
That's just motivational, right?
I think this one's okay if they do something really, really dumb. Wow, I thought you were smarter than that.
My dad always said that to me growing up.
Oh, that could have some lasting effects. All right. You did a terrible job. This is pathetic. Sometimes I don't know about you. Did I make a mistake hiring you? Did I?
Ouch.
What's wrong with you?
How many times have you wanted to yell that at an employee, though?
That's true. Or this next
What's wrong
one.
with you?
Everybody else does this better than you.
Ouch.
No, I don't want your opinion. Keep it to yourself. Ooh, bad boss. Bad boss. I don't care about your problem. Solve it on your own. Oh, that's kind of like a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard this one before. If you don't want this job, I'll find somebody who does.
Go ahead.
All right. I'm the manager.
You're right.
Yeah, I'm the manager. Just do what I tell you. Everybody gets stressed out at work. Managers have a lot on their shoulders. Nah.
Oh, no.
Not enough to be rude. And Chuck gets a fun one here. This is signs the leprechaun you caught isn't a real leprechaun.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, he's got the green suit on. He's got the Irish accent. But he's tall enough to play in the NBA. Not a real leprechaun.
Not real.
He prefers Fruit Loops over Lucky Charms.
Oh, well, so do you. Show your box again. There you go.
No, this is Lucky Charms. I do prefer Lucky Charms.
Okay,
over Fruit
I wanted to
Loops.
double check. Okay, cool.
Does that make me a leprechaun?
Yes.
Wow.
A big leprechaun,
I gotta tell
but
my
still
wife.
a leprechaun. You're king of the leprechauns.
His pot of gold turns out to be medical marijuana from Oregon.
Okay.
I've got my pot of gold. He admits he's occasionally placed bets against Notre Dame.
Ooh, bad for all
bad
leprechauns.
leprechaun.
Yeah.
You can't be one of the little people when you weigh over 300 pounds.
Watch it, Chuck.
Ooh.
What do you think my most leprechaun feature is? Because people have called me leprechaun many times.
Your smile, Scott.
It might have a very
smile.
leprechaun smile. You could have said
Yeah.
a lot of things, but that's very sweet of you, Chuck. All
You're
right.
welcome.
All right. And then when I feel like a leprechaun, I like to hear this.
They're always after me, Lucky Charms. What? Why's everyone always laugh when I say that? They are after me, Lucky Charms. What?
What? All right. Odd facts about St. Patrick's Day that you might not know. Blue was the original color to be associated with St. Patrick. For centuries, both St. Patrick and Ireland were closely associated with the color blue, not green like everyone assumes. Eventually, green took over. No one's entirely sure why. It's possible that it was because people started wearing green shamrocks in their hair and on their clothes during the 19th century. But the most striking historical example of green's rise to power took place during the 1798 Irish Rebellion, when local soldiers dressed all in green on St. Patrick's Day in order to draw attention to their cause.
You think maybe that was the reason?
Could be. Kind of an honor thing. St. Patrick taught the Irish about Christianity using a shamrock. The reason the shamrock is so important to both Ireland and St. Patrick's stories is because legend has it that St. Patrick explained the Holy Trinity to the native Celts using the three-leafed shamrock. All right. Don't pour out the four-leaf clover. It'll just confuse everyone.
Right. It's got me confused right now. But what does the fourth one represent?
St. Patrick, well, that's, a one-off, the four-leaf clover.
Yeah.
All right. St. Patrick's Day is an official public holiday in only 3 countries. Ireland obviously one of them, but the other 2 are a little more obscure. The Canadian province of Newfoundland and Labrador is one. Caribbean island of Montserrat also celebrates St. Patrick's Day as an official public holiday, which might seem completely bizarre until you realize that the island nation was founded by Irish settlers. Oh, pretty cool. The shortest St. Patrick's Day parade is in Dripsy Cork, Ireland. Everyone knows about the big-time St. Paddy's Day parades. In Chicago, they even dyed the river green, and Dublin has an entire festival which lasts a week and draws over 1 million tourists. But most people probably don't know that the smallest St. Patrick's Day parade is in a little town called Dripsy in Southern Ireland. It lasts just 23 meters and takes place in between the town's 2 pubs.
So it's basically when they go from one bar to the other.
Yeah. Or at least it used to. It says, unfortunately, one of the pubs closed in 2007 and no one's reopened it yet. Oh,
that's so sad. Dripsy Cork, that sounds like a common thing that happens at the end of the night on St. Paddy's Day.
I had a friend we used to call him that as a nickname.
Gypsy Cork.
All right. Guinness cashes in. Guinness is in the beer a lot. Guinness and St. Patrick's Day go hand in hand. It's basically the official beer of St. Patrick's Day. Estimated that more than 13 million pints of Guinness will be consumed today. Wow. 13 million pints. I wonder how much of it's actually, percentage of that is green.
But could you make Guinness is almost black as it is. Can you make it green?
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't drink a lot, but Guinness actually sounds pretty good. I might go to the store today.
A little trivia for Chuck.
Okay, let's do it.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
He's not Irish, but he'll do. It's Chuck Ritchie.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
All right, first question, Chuck. What is the typical what is it that the typical millionaire does on average for 6 minutes every day?
Counts their money.
I'll take that. Spends time on personal finances for 6 minutes a day. Leaves a lot of free time.
I probably do that at least 5 or 6 minutes a day.
And you're not a millionaire, so everybody does it.
I know, right? Yeah.
All right, there are 1,160 of these in Japan. It's a type of restaurant, and it's not McDonald's.
A ramen restaurant.
No, it's an American restaurant in Japan. There's 1,160 of them, and it's not McDonald's. I was surprised by this one.
Is it Taco Bell?
No. Kind of related to Taco Bell, though. That should open it up for you.
It's Chipotle.
No, no, same company as Taco Bell.
Oh, KFC.
There you go. Had to give it away.
Yep.
Sorry. All right.
I heard it. I don't know if we have. I don't know if you want to hear useless trivia, but we had, or not. We had the reason behind the Taco Bell, KFC merger, is because Pepsi. None of the places sold Pepsi, and everyone wants Coke at a fast food place over Pepsi. So Pepsi decided it was worth it to buy the 2 franchises to sell Pepsi out of them, and then realized that it's more cost effective to combine the 2 restaurants together to sell Pepsi.
Wow. That's like, I bet a lot of people don't know that Pepsi and Coke go into stores and restaurants and actually pay them money to to carry their product. And that's why,
Mm-hmm.
like a lot of times, a local company or a local soda company or water company will have a hard time breaking it into Quickie Marts, because Pepsi will make the gas station some kind of offer, and then they provide a cooler too. Well, only their products are allowed in that cooler. So it really pushes the little guys out, because the corporates kind of control the Quickie Marts. So
I
if
thought you
you're-
were going a different direction. I thought you said Coke and Pepsi go in the stores and wrestle.
That'd be cool.
They fight it out.
All right. All right, your next trivia question.
Okay.
There were 430 people under this person's command, and his first name was Jim.
Jim Kirk.
That means you got it right. Little Star Trek music.
Yay!
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
I mean, that was obvious. Come on.
That's right.
Logic clearly dictates that the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
Yes. Average cost of this is up to $7,181. You might save for it, but you'll never have to pay for it. What is it?
The cost of a gallon of gasoline.
$7,181. Huh.
Not yet.
Not yet, but maybe soon. Another guess?
$7,000.
Okay, and that was a big hint. So it's the cost of this is up to just over $7,000. You might save for it, but you won't actually make the payment. What is it?
What? I am drawing a blank.
All right, let's. And Marion
Is
just
it
had posted a little
used
while
car?
ago. Nope. You're gonna save for it, but you won't write the check. I can guarantee it will be impossible for you to write the check. You might save for this that costs $7,000, but you will not be able to write a check for it.
A savings account?
No, you wouldn't. This costs. Your savings account doesn't cost you anything.
Okay.
All right. So it's going to cost you $7,000. You could save for it for years, but you will not be able to make the payment yourself. Someone will have to do it for you, because it's a
life insurance policy.
You're really close. A funeral.
A funeral. Okay.
All right. Average
It
person.
was so obvious, wasn't it?
Yes. Average person will lose 22 of these in their life. They're on your face sometimes.
Teeth.
Sometimes. No, it's not teeth. It's something you might wear on your head. Average person will lose 22 of these in their life.
Hat or glasses.
Glasses. There you go. We'll give you some applause.
The average person will lose 22 pairs of glasses.
22 pairs of glasses in a lifetime. All right. Tell me which one's the lie here, Chuck. In a survey, 43% of adults said they still own a concert T-shirt from when they were young. 35,000 people die in the U.S. from the flu annually. And the post office ruled in 1920 that dogs could not be sent through the mail system. Which one's the lie?
I'm going to say the dog thing.
Actually, that is a lie, but there is some truth to it. The post office actually ruled in 1920 that children could not be mailed through the U.S. Postal Service because some people had done it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, shortly before I married my wife, she had actually had a dog mailed to her. So
really,
I knew that. Yeah, I knew.
Wow.
I knew that wasn't true.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's kind of crazy. All right, I'm tired of my kids. I'm mailing them to my aunt.
Wouldn't that be great if you could just send them through the mail? Probably that 24-cent stamp would be so much cheaper.
You're your grandma's problem
than a plane
now.
ticket.
All right. 40,000 Americans will be injured while using this thing in the bathroom.
Soap.
It's heavy.
Heavy in the bathroom?
Yeah.
That Costco bottle of shampoo.
No, I don't want to picture how you get injured with this.
The toilet?
The toilet. He says it all questioning. The toilet? Yes, be afraid. Now, I guess you could step in it. You could trip and fall and smack your head on it. There's all sorts of things. That lid could come down and maybe pinch you or something. All right.
There's the triangle of death, which is that corner between the toilet and the bathtub.
Yes. Triangle
Yeah.
of death. Dun dun dun.
That's what morticians call it.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Average American consumes 11 pounds of this each year. It's not food, but it has something to do with food. And you will consume 11 pounds of it this year. Has a lot to do with food, but it's not actually a food.
Well, my first thought was butter, but that's definitely a food. The coating on a nonstick pan.
You're getting warm.
Oh gosh.
People really worry about this when they go to a buffet.
Bacteria, germs.
No, we're looking for food additives.
Additives.
Food
Oh,
additives.
okay.
11 pounds of additives. So, yeah, that could be any of those things you can't spell on the back of a can.
Have you seen the products we buy? It's 11 pounds seems low, actually.
It does, doesn't it?
I'm actually impressed. I'm eating healthier than I thought.
All right, Chuck, you're at your favorite restaurant one night.
Okay.
Your waitress says the specialty of the night is chicken. When you tell her you don't like poultry, she tells you the restaurant has no poultry on the menu, but they do have a chicken. What's she talking about?
I have no idea.
Okay, has to do with seafood.
Tuna, chicken of the sea.
You know what? I'm going to give you points for that. But that is also the name for a sea creature, a female sea creature. Do you have any idea which one? They call it a chicken.
A chicken? I have no idea.
Female lobster is called a chicken. That makes no sense.
Never in my life heard that. Wow.
All right.
What's a male called then? Do they call that a rooster?
Yeah, I hope so.
Or do they call us?
I hope so. All right. I'm going to describe a famous Patrick for St. Patrick's Day, and you have to tell me who it is. Okay?
Okay.
The famous Patrick. He was the star of Dirty Dancing.
Patrick Swayze.
A former race car driver and GoDaddy spokeswoman.
Danica Patrick.
McDreamy on Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, I know. I can't. He was in Can't Buy Me Love, and I can't remember his name.
Well, you remember the movies.
Patrick. His name was Patrick.
And it begins with a D.
Patrick.
Dempsey. Patrick Dempsey.
Dempsey.
All right,
Patrick Dempsey. That's
got
right.
2 out of 3 so far. He played.
Yep.
Oh, this is past your time. He played Bobby Ewing on Dallas.
Oh, I actually do know this one, but I can't think of it.
All right.
Pass.
It's also. Of course, you want a hint? His first name's Patrick.
Yeah.
His name begins with last name begins with a D, and it rhymes with Fluffy.
Patrick Duffy.
There you go.
Thanks, Scott.
You're welcome.
You made that one hard.
Woo! Woo! All right. 2 out of 4. Here's your chance to win by getting more than half, okay? I can get you a C if you can answer this question, all right?
Okay.
All right? Are you sure? All right.
I'm sure. Let's do it.
Yeah, he starred as...
Let's make it a true daily double.
He starred as a captain of the USS Enterprise.
Patrick Stewart.
Oh, he was the best captain of the Enterprise, right?
Absolutely. Hands down.
All right. And my most favorite line from Patrick Stewart.
Shut up, Wesley.
Followed by, and this gets me a lot of guff.
Yeah.
But I stick by it. Captain Janeway. Yeah.
What?
Yep.
This,
and this gets me a lot of guff. You know my least favorite Star Trek captain?
What's that?
Captain Kirk.
How could you?
The guy was a scumbag.
How can you? Oh. I'm sorry. That's some good acting right there.
Kirk. Yeah.
All right. So you said Janeway. So I'm going to play a sound effect. I just want you to not hear the word "we" because that's what it starts off with. This is totally directed at you.
Oh no! We suck again.
Janeway, really? That's like having
Although I
an
do like-
angry old school marm be your starship captain. No.
But in the best way.
No. And what really made me... Go ahead.
I really like Pike though in the new series.
I was really... Yeah, he's pretty cool. I'll give you that.
He's really good.
The thing that angered me most about that whole series is, you know who was supposed to be the original captain on that ship?
Who?
And she only lasted on set a day. Linda Hamilton from Terminator. She would have made an excellent captain. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that would have been cool. That would have been cool.
Not an angry school marm. Sorry, angry school marms. I don't mean to point you out. All right.
Although I do really like Saru from the Discovery.
Yes.
By,
he was pretty cool too.
Yeah, Saru is really great.
All right, we're geeking out.
Sorry, guys.
Static.
We're gonna go to break, and when we come back,
Give us a minute. We'll start speaking in Klingon.
that's right. Plus we're gonna have live. We're gonna have all the birthdays all the way through the weekend. A little bit of today in history to take you through the weekend as well. Some news and nuggets, and we always wrap up your Friday and, well, every day on the show with odd news. We hope you'll stay right here. It's Northern Lights Public Radio. Thanking the sponsors and a little news break.
Another gator got in the house. Another gator!
To the Idiot Mobile.
You're listening to Northern Lights Public Radio on 102.7 KCHW, Chewelah, Valley, Deer Park.
The Public News Service Daily Newscast, March the 17th, 2023. I'm Mike Clifford. Georgia's fiscal year 2024 budget could bring a $2,000 salary boost for teachers.
Educators say low wages, scarce mental health resources for students, and a challenging work environment contribute to high turnover and retention issues in the state. Claire Suggs from the Professional Association of Georgia Educators underlines the challenges.
We have shortages in special education in math and in science, but a lot of our rural school districts have struggled for a long time across field. It is just harder for these smaller communities to attract and keep educators.
In 2021, Georgia's new educators earned roughly $27,000 annually, with seasoned educators reaching $54,000 after 35 years, according to the Southern Regional Education Board. The budget seeks to address the challenges educators face in repaying student loans and the need for competitive wages, building on a recent $5,000 pay hike. Shantia Hudson reporting.
That decision now rests with lawmakers in the state Senate, where the budget could undergo more changes. And a package of bills in Helena is aimed at improving elk management in Montana. More on that from Eric Tegeloff.
The 6 bills are bipartisan efforts from lawmakers, hunters, and outfitters, and all have survived the legislature's transmittal deadline outside their house of origin. One is House Bill 635, which would set aside up to 15% of non-resident big game licenses for non-resident landowners so they can hunt on their own property. Jim Vatro is a board member of Montana Wildlife Federation and head of Flathead Wildlife.
Montana has seen a real increase in hunting pressure by non-residents on publicly available land, and this would move some segment of that hunting pressure onto private land and ease up the competition on public land.
HB 635 had its first hearing in the Senate on Thursday. The bill could remove more than 2,500 non-resident hunters from competing with Montanans on public lands. Some hunters and outfitters oppose it, saying it could reduce the number of big game licenses available.
The Montana Citizens Elk Management Coalition and Montana Outfitters and Guides Association developed the bills in early January. Now for Reuters, large U.S. banks injected $30 billion in deposits into First Republic Bank on Thursdays, swooping in to rescue the lender caught up in a widening crisis triggered by the collapse of two other mid-sized U.S. lenders over the past week. Reuters notes that banking stocks globally have been battered since Silicon Valley Bank collapsed last week. That due to bomb-related losses that piled up when interest rates surged last year. This is Public News Service. And groups that advocate for clean water in Arizona are applauding an EPA plan to limit toxic substances known as PFAS in drinking water.
The agency says its proposal will prevent thousands of deaths as well as serious health impacts. Senior Clean Water Director with Environment Arizona, John Rumpler, calls the proposal a crucial step to begin the process of cleaning up the nation's drinking water and preventing further contamination. He adds PFAS are used in various industry and consumer products and says the country shouldn't be trading convenience for cancer.
There are safer alternatives, and that's really where the solution needs to go, not just setting these limits on these chemicals in our drinking water, but getting to the root cause of the problem, which is the ubiquitous use of these toxic chemicals in the first place.
The proposal would require public water systems to monitor the levels of 6 kinds of PFAS. Rumpler says the aim is to protect drinking water from all of them. I'm Alex Gonzalez reporting.
The transportation and warehousing industry continues to lead as Indiana's fastest growing business sector.
The Indiana Business Research Center at Indiana University says despite hiring bonuses and help wanted signs posted at trucking companies, too many jobs remain unfilled. Center Director Carol Rogers says at the onset of the pandemic, the demand for goods could not keep up with the low supply of workers.
We suddenly started getting more and more stuff delivered. So instead of going to a store, we were getting it delivered. That needed more trucks, more truck drivers, more people in the warehouses to do the stocking.
Rogers says Indiana's Department of Workforce Development has received federal money to create Work One, an online center arranged by county where people can get information on choosing or changing a career, job training, and apprenticeships. I'm Terry D. reporting.
Finally, our Evelyn J. Vieira lets us know when the pandemic ends this spring, Medicaid's continuous coverage requirements will end with it.
In Connecticut, the state will start checking people's eligibility at the end of this month to see who can remain enrolled in Medicaid by May 2024. Many are expected to lose coverage, and there are greater risks for some than others. A report from Arnold Ventures and the Commonwealth Fund says the Medicaid coverage rate for Hispanics is 35.7% compared to non-Hispanics at 19.4%. Yanitzi Velez with the Hispanic Federation says there must be an aggressive effort to alert people about the Medicaid coverage changes.
It is important to continue to partner and educate, whether it's through healthcare.gov, whether it's through social media, whether it's through town halls, or just partnering. All the information needs to be out there as soon as possible.
This is Mike Clifford, and thank you for wrapping up your week with Public News Service. Member and listener supported. There are some great radio stations, your favorite podcast platform. Find our trust indicators at publicnewsservice.org.
It's 8:15.
Your KCHW morning show is made possible by donations from Chihuahua Flooring.
Chihuahua Flooring at 214 East Clay in the 3rd Street Mall offers a wide variety of products, including carpet, ceramic and porcelain tile, vinyl and laminate planks, and vinyl sheet flooring. Chihuahua Flooring carries products for both commercial businesses and residential homes, including brands like National Flooring, Dell Tile, Mannington, and Mohawk. They also offer blind repair. For more information, you can visit online at ChihuahuaFlooring.com, call 509-935-8021, or via email at ChihuahuaFlooring@gmail.com.
Your KCHW morning show made possible by a donation from God-Fearing Brothers Auto Center. God-Fearing Brothers specializes in auto services, including repair, maintenance, and detailing. They also stock a full selection of tires, make glass repairs, offer towing, and have an auto sales lot on the corner of Highway 395 and Main Street at the light. For more information, you can visit the Auto Service Center at 806 East Main in Chihuahua. Find them online at godfearingbrothers.com or by phone at 509-935-6414. KCHW-FM thanks God-Fearing Brothers for supporting public radio in Stevens County.
KCHW programming is made possible by listeners like you and by
New Health. At New Health, we are committed to promoting health and wellness within our communities by providing integrated open access healthcare for all. Our medical care teams offer in-person visits, curbside care, and telehealth visits. Schedule today for a new patient appointment. Curbside pharmacy pickup and mailing options are available to meet your medication needs. Contact New Health at 509-935-6004. That's 509-935-6004 to schedule today, or visit our website at newhealth.org for a location nearest you. New patients are welcome and most insurance plans are accepted, including Medicare, Apple Health Plans, TRICARE, and private insurance. New Health, celebrating 45 years of bringing healthcare into communities and communities into healthcare.
This is KCHW, Chihuahua, 102.7 FM.
And we're back. It's KCHW 102.7. Thanks for joining us. You've got Chuck Ritchie and myself, Scott Allen, with you this morning. Sorry we missed a few seconds there on the radio. Again, Chuck Ritchie. There you go. I got a question before I do.
Cut me.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I
I
just
had to say you caught me munching. We're coming back. I got some of those cotton candy grapes.
Oh, cotton candy grapes. What do they taste like?
They taste like cotton candy.
No way. Is this
You can
something
they're
engineered?
very limited. You can only you can only find them I can only get them like every couple of years.
Wow, cotton candy grapes.
They're green grapes and they taste just like cotton candy. They're amazing.
Wow.
Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
That's crazy. All right,
Yeah.
so I have a question to pose to you. And oh, by the way, you should have been watching Facebook during trivia because all the answers were getting posted for you.
By Marianne, yeah. I saw that.
She had your back. All right, so my question is, what in Chihuahua could we use this St. Patrick's Day as our Blarney Stone? What could we use as our Blarney Stone? I couldn't think of a big rock, really setting anywhere. There's a couple in the park. I thought about that horrible piece of artwork in front of the high school. That could be our Blarney Stone.
Yeah, or the bathroom in the park, the building,
the
wall,
the bathroom
concrete
building.
wall.
Okay.
Yeah, the concrete wall of the bathroom. Let's do that.
Maybe we should just stick with the bridge or something in the park, the first one.
There you go.
Okay.
You got to wade out in the creek and then kiss the bridge. Watch out for spiders.
So I was there when that high school opened, and the rumor was that they had the choice of the big blue piece of art in the front or a swimming pool. Now, I don't know if this is true, but they had their choice of putting a swimming pool in the high school or that big blue piece of art because I guess they cost about the same. But they were thinking of the ongoing costs of maintaining the pool, so they never did it. But that was a rumor when I was a kid. Don't know if it was true or not. But I think that should be our Blarney Stone. Let's go kiss that.
There you go.
All right.
There you go.
Let's take a look at some local birthdays. First, I have an apology for Sunday. Somebody named White has a birthday, but it's been cut off on my picture of the calendar, so I can't tell who that was. But for today, St. Patrick's Day, Leo I'm going to get closer here. Looks like I'm going to say Leo Walters having a birthday. Terry and Gary Henches. Donna Marie and Virgil White having an anniversary, and Terry and Gary Henches were having an anniversary. Birthdays for Saturday, Josie Williams and Tess May, and then some nice person with the last name of White on Sunday, and that one's cut off, so I apologize for that. We move on to celebrity birthdays, and Chuck Ritchie is there to help us with that, and we already talked about him once. It's one of our famous Patricks for today.
Right. Mr. Patrick Duffy is 74 years young today.
All right.
Kurt Russell is 72. Gary Sinise is 68. Vicki Lewis from News Radio is 63. Rob Lowe, you may have heard of him, is 59. Soccer legend Mia Hamm is 51. Brittany Daniels from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is 47. John Boyega is from the Star Wars films is 31. Swimmer Katie Ledecky is 26. And if you move on to tomorrow, oh, this is a good one. Everyone likes him. Mike Rowe from Dirty Jobs is 61. Vanessa Williams from Desperate Housewives and Ugly Betty is 60. Queen, didn't she marry Rick Fox from the Lakers? I think she did.
No idea.
Yeah. Queen Latifah is 53. She is one of my biggest childhood crushes. I've always had a thing for Queen Latifah. I love her. I think she's gorgeous. Dane Cook is 51. Adam Levine, is it Levine or Levine?
I'm not sure. I think it's Levine.
A boy band guy. Yeah. He's 44. And Lily Collins from The Blind Side and Vile and some other things I haven't seen is 34.
All right. Just a few for Sunday as Chuck makes his way there.
Yeah. Ursula Andress from Dr. No and Casino Royale is 87. Glenn Close is 76. I love this. They introduce him as prisoner, and former film producer Harvey Weinstein is 71. Bruce Willis is 68.
Oh, wow. All right, moving on to It Happened Today, a little history going through the weekend. We'll start with today, and of course, 1756. It was St. Patrick's Day, celebrated in New York City for the first time at the Crown and Thistle Tavern. A bunch of Irish guys got together. 1845, the rubber band was patented. Ooh, world-changing. 1931, Nevada legalized gambling. Well, that's a good history day.
Right? Wow.
1991, in its first dress code change since 1960s, Brigham Young University announced that students could wear knee-length shorts and go sockless. Wow. Yeah.
Scandalous.
1999, in a restaurant in Indiana, intoxicated man angered by a slow-flushing toilet put out a pistol and shot it several times. Always fun. On to 2006, an employee at a funeral parlor in Kazakhstan was rescued after burglars knocked him out and nailed him inside a coffin while they robbed the funeral parlor. Who does that? It's horrible. Let's see. I'm going to skip that one. There's some really depressing ones at the end. 2020 Golden Raspberry Film Awards, the Razzies gave 6 trophies to the musical Cats, including Worst Film of the Year. History for Saturday, former governor, 1893, and a general as well, Lord Stanley, pledged to donate a silver challenge cup, later named after him, as an award for the best ice hockey team in Canada. There you go, Lord Stanley and the Stanley Cup. 1910, first American horror film was patented, a one-reel Edison Studio production of Frankenstein. 1931, nice. Electric razors first manufactured by Schick in Connecticut, probably made in China now. 59, as in 1959, President Eisenhower signed a bill into law allowing for Hawaiian statehood, which became official on August 21st of that year. NFL adopted a rule that required all players' names to appear on the back of their jerseys. The year was 1970. The rule had been borrowed from an emerging AFL. And 2007, a Hong Kong woman brushing her teeth said she had a brush with disaster. As she brushed, she somehow slipped and fell and swallowed the entire toothbrush. She was able to call paramedics without choking. The toothbrush eventually extracted with an endoscopic surgery. Ouch.
Wow.
All right, and let's see. A few for Sunday. 1831, Bank of New York became the site of the first bank robbery in the United States, and they got away with $240,000, which was huge at that time. Edward Smith eventually caught and convicted and spent 5 years in prison for that bank robbery. 1918, the U.S. Congress established time zones and approved daylight savings time. Although I do like it nice and bright in the morning. Let's just stay here. 1953, the Academy Awards ceremony was televised for the first time with proceedings in Hollywood and New York. Greatest Show on Earth was named Best Picture of 1952. In 1957, Elvis Presley bought his Graceland estate in Memphis. Not to be outdone, 1988, Michael Jackson bought a ranch near Santa Ynez, California. Did I say that right? And built his own personal zoo and amusement park. He named it Neverland.
Wait, and then he later married Elvis's daughter?
Yes, isn't that weird?
Is there a thing going on there?
The King of Rock and the King of Pop. 1995, 34-year-old London man was sentenced to a year in jail for dividing up him and his wife's property in a divorce settlement because he did it with a chainsaw. He divided up all the furniture and the front porch. It's your half and my half. Let's see. 2002, 7 brothers married 7 sisters, just like the movie, at the same wedding ceremony in Pakistan. Over 2,000 family members attended the mass wedding.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. 2013, NASA's Mars rover Curiosity discovered further evidence of water-bearing minerals. I was watching some stuff on this last night and checking out the polar ice caps on the South Pole of Mars. It's pretty cool that there's a bunch of frozen water up there. Also, 2019, last one here, super bloom of poppies in Walker Canyon in Southern California was visible from space after a high rainfall. All right, these are always fun. Cool. We call them goofy holidays, and sometimes they're special events, and here they come through the weekend, delivered by Chuck Ritchie.
Yeah, as we all know, today is St. Patty's Day. It's also Campfire Girls Day. Of course, it's Corned Beef and Cabbage Day. Preschool Teachers Appreciation Day. Okay. Submarine Day and World Sleep Day. Ooh, that's one I can get behind.
You know, that maybe should be tomorrow.
Right.
Since St. Patty's Day's on a Friday.
Right. It's Awkward Moments Day. Forgive Mom and Dad Day. International, do you hear that, kids? International Sports Car Racing Day. Maple Syrup Day. Corn Dog Day. So would you dip your corn dogs in maple syrup?
Oh,
that actually doesn't sound bad.
It doesn't sound bad at all.
No, it doesn't actually. I was meant that as a joke, but I'm like, oh, okay.
I found, you know, that you can put syrup on most things.
Well, you know, dipping breakfast sausage in syrup is like a warm hug.
Yes, yes.
It is Quilting Day and Sloppy Joe Day.
All right, and then we move on. Go ahead. To Sunday.
So for Sunday, it is Certified Nurses Day. Let's Laugh Day. Chocolate Caramel Day.
That's my favorite.
Caramel Day. Poultry Day, and but not the lobster. And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Day.
Oh.
Okay.
Right. Number for the day is 250 professional full-time Elvis impersonators in the world. Still 250. That's pretty amazing.
That actually seems a little lower than I figured. That would be that many in Vegas alone.
All right. Can you do an Elvis impersonation?
Oh.
Oh, you got the lip thing. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Hey there, Mama.
Oh. There's something wrong with my leg. It won't stop shaking.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. All right. On to news and nuggets for today. A few news stories, usually on the lighter side. First, the U.S. is lagging behind most wealthy nations in life expectancy. How's that? Aren't we supposed to be number one? No. We're not. Liberty.
Have you seen how many preservatives we eat?
That's right. And one of the last countries left that allow corn syrup to be put in our foods because they talk about Americans being bigger. That's corn syrup. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness are all rights of Americans, but a long life, well, not so much. U.S. now lags significantly behind other developed nations, falling from 13th in 1950 to number 53 in life expectancy today. And I guarantee you that drop is corn syrup. This decline contrasts sharply with the prosperity of G7 nations, which include the U.S. Experts despite increasing average life expectancy by 9 years since 1950, the U.S. has been outpaced by other countries, with Japan leading the pack at nearly 85 years. Notably, the U.S. spends more on health care than any other nation as well, yet remains the only high-income country without free or guaranteed health care. Isn't that sad?
You think that might have something to do with it too?
It's so sad. You know,
well, you have another thing. Red food dye causes massive problems, especially in kids with behavioral issues. And red food dye is a big problem in the United States. It's the only country that allows red food dye in its food.
And, you know, if you want to blame the huge profits of the pharmaceutical companies on someone, blame it on everybody in Washington, D.C.
Oh, no! We suck again!
because they'll charge you, now they put that cap on it, but they'd charge you $200 for your insulin for a month's supply, between $200 and $400 before this price cap came in. But if you were in any other country, it's like $3. So you've got these pharmaceutical companies specifically targeting us to make their millions and millions and billions of dollars. And Congress, a House and a Senate that won't do anything about it.
Oh, no! We suck again!
That's why I always say...
we have the worst healthcare system of any industrialized nation.
Yep. Vote out the incumbent. It's the only cure. All right. How about some extreme travel, Chuck?
There are people who vacation occasionally and people who travel frequently to other parts of the world. Then there are the extreme travelers, people who are trying to see the whole world. All countries, territories, dependencies, island groups, isolated islands, and enclaves and exclaves. There's a website for those trying to see it all. It's mtp.travel. MTP is short for Most Traveled People, and it keeps a list of 30,000 extreme travelers like Michael Runkle, who has visited 1,307 out of 1,500 destinations. Wow. For example, Runkle has visited every U.S. state, including every possible state region, such as New York Upstate East, New York Upstate West, Greater New York City, and Long Island, and the UN headquarters in New York.
All right.
I have a friend of mine from high school who is, I don't know if he has the record or if he's trying to get the record for the most traveled person.
Wow.
He's trying to get the Guinness record. His dad is on one of those Alaskan shows. Last name was Rainey, I believe.
All right. Must be incredibly wealthy. All right.
Yeah.
I got a critical story here. It is the world's heaviest ball of twine, and it could soon be on the move. 24,000 ball of twine, believed to be the heaviest in the world, to become the pride of Highland, Wisconsin, created by James Frank Otero over a period of more than 40 years. I've seen this. The ball attracts visitors from all over the world. Yep, it's a big ball of twine. After Kotera died recently, his friends and neighbors started a campaign to move the ball from his backyard to Town Hall, where it can be preserved for posterity. They have launched a GoFundMe page to raise $10,000 for the project.
Well, they should have known better than to put it on the top of a hill.
I'm just picturing this giant ball of twine getting away from him at 24,000 pounds and going through buildings and kind of like Godzilla. All right. FCC doing something good, Chuck. Tell us about it.
So if you're fed up with text notifications that your Amazon account has been locked, oh my God, I've been getting those every day recently, or that your bank account has been hacked, the FCC is coming to the rescue, hopefully. This week's FCC finalized rulings requiring that mobile carriers block robo-text messages that are likely to be illegal. Carriers will be required to block text messages that come from invalid, unallocated, or unused numbers. Carriers must also block text from numbers that the subscriber to the number has self-identified as never sending text messages, and numbers that government agencies and other well-known entities are not identify as not used for texting.
There you go. Finally, they need to ramp that up too, to more stuff for make this telemarketing illegal. It's getting old, really, really old. Just the fact that we've been putting up with it for 30 years.
Right, and for anybody listening out there, if you ever get a text message from any business, anything that even if it's something that you sign up for, even if they have like information that they must know me because they have my information. Never, ever click the link. Even if it's valid, go to the website and then check. Never click a link in an email or a text ever for anything.
And that pop-up thing you get on some sites, it's still out there and people fall for it all the time. It says you have a virus, call Microsoft now at this, and it's an 818 number instead of, 800. They don't do that. It's not real. It's all a fake. No. And it's a trick that just actually locks up your screen. Do that Control-Alt-Delete thing. Open your task manager, and you'll see your browser listed there, like if you use Firefox or Chrome, and just click on that and say End Task, and it'll free up your browser again. But that is a huge scam. Don't fall for it. You do not have a virus. All right.
And there is no Nigerian prince that's going to give you $1 million.
What?
It doesn't exist. I know. Crazy, right?
I was about to move. Oh, sad news here. Junk food doesn't actually make you happy. I don't know. Sure makes me feel good. Emotional eating is no longer the answer. According to researchers at Penn State, people don't actually feel better after eating junk food. In fact, they often feel worse. In the study, subjects who were in a good mood before eating tend to have no mood changes regardless of eating behaviors. But people who were in bad moods tended to become more negative after eating unhealthily. Oh, man.
Junk food makes you happy for like 10 minutes.
Let's skip the one
Until the
about
stomach
Wendy's and move on and tell us, Chuck, about why women worry more than men.
Okay. Yeah, so this comes to us as a shock to nobody, especially moms. Women do worry more than men. A study discovered that women were more likely than men to feel nervous, anxious, and worried. 22% compared to 16%. Younger and middle-aged younger and middle-aged men and women seem to be the most stressed. The good news is the older you get, the happier and less stressed you are. Is it happier and less stressed, or do you just stop caring?
No, usually, Chuck, it's something else you've forgotten.
That happened to me a long time ago.
All right, get this next story. Why haven't we been doing this for a while? In Brazil, a small plane made a dramatic and safe vertical landing after the pilot deployed a parachute to bring it to the ground. A plane with a parachute? Huh. Okay.
That's genius.
It is. A video on Twitter shows a single-engine Cirrus SR-22 plane descending with a huge red and white parachute on top of it. The jet, carrying 6 people, including a 3-year-old and a newborn, took a tumble when it hit the top of a mountain, but no one was hurt. Plane was equipped with a airframe parachute system called CAPS. I've never heard of such a thing.
All right. There's a video, too. Ooh.
All right.
Yeah, wait. Do you know how many lives could have been saved?
Yes.
I mean, I don't... what size for like a big 747 though? What size of parachute would they need?
A really big one.
What, the size of a football field?
Yes.
Yeah.
Will you share with us about binge drinking since it is St. Patrick's Day?
Right. Yeah. So we're drinking like there's going to be no tomorrow, according to the National Center for Drug Abuse statistics. 24% of people 18 and older report binge drinking in the last 30 days. Wow. That's a high number.
It is.
Binge drinking is a pattern of alcohol consumption that involves consuming large amounts of alcohol in a short period with the intention of becoming intoxicated. Is that binge drinking or is that just drinking?
Seems like rookie numbers. All right. Florida. Here, this one's kind of cool. Florida professor wants to spend 100 days in an undersea habitat. This is from the University of South Florida. This professor spent 2.5 weeks in a structure located 22 feet under the sea, and he's planning to remain there until he hits a total of 100 days. Joe DeTuri, an associate professor at the University of South Florida, has no life and is also living in an underwater hotel dubbed the Jules Undersea Lodge, located 22 feet below the surface in a Key Largo lagoon. Dutry said he is aiming to remain for 100 days and break the Guinness World Record for the most continuous time spent in an underwater habitat. Current record of 73 days was set at the Jules Undersea Lodge in 2014. Dutry said his project was inspired by director James Cameron, who asked the professor to evaluate one of his submersibles back in 2012. All right.
Wait, so this is a luxury resort that happens to be underwater.
But only 22 feet. Whatever.
I mean, So his goal is to spend 100 days in a luxury resort, and who's funding this? Because I mean that sounds like a scam.
And it sounds like he's put it off on the college because they sure said it a lot.
Yeah. Wow.
Here comes proof that marriage won't make you happy, even though I tried 3 times.
So if you want to be happy in life, it has to come from within. Getting married won't do it, Scott.
No.
At least that's the word from research that was published by the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology. While newlyweds do tend to experience an initial boost of happiness, they eventually return to the same outlook they had on life before the wedding.
Huh. Short-lived.
I mean,
the thrill is gone. Yeah. The honeymoon is over. All that kind of stuff.
I guess.
All right, before we wrap up this week's show with news, entertainment. We've got some movies coming out this weekend. One of them that's supposed to be really good. They spent a lot of money on it. Shazam! Fury of the Gods. This film continues the story of teenage Billy Batson, who upon reciting the magic word, Shazam! Is transformed into an adult superhero alter ego. Did you see the first one, Chuck?
I did. I actually really enjoyed it.
I
thought it was
did. I
fun.
did too. So I'm looking forward to that one. Another movie coming out today is Inside. Nemo, a high-end art thief, is trapped in a New York penthouse after his heist doesn't go as planned. Locked inside with nothing but priceless works of art, he must use all of his cunning and invention to survive. That does not sound exciting at all. All right. This one, I want you to make a snoring sound effect at the end. Psychologist from San Francisco ends a relationship and moves on with her life by opening her own private practice in a vacant street front office space in the middle of a small commercial block located across the bay from Oakland. A snowy day in Oakland. And Chuck has nodded off, as you will if you go to that movie. On Hulu this weekend, The Boston Strangler. Loretta McMahon was the reporter who first connected the murders and broke the story of the Boston Strangler. She and Gene Cole challenged sexism of the 60s to report on the city's most notorious serial killer. Now, that could be kind of cool. On Netflix, it's The Magician's Elephant. An orphan boy is told by a fortune teller that an elephant will help him find his lost sister. Another one, let's see, in limited release, Moving On, two old friends reconnect at a funeral and decide to get revenge on the widower who messed with them decades before. Ha! All right. And Supercell, teenage boy runs away to follow his father's footsteps, legendary storm chaser Bill Brody. And the last one, this is on MGM Plus. I didn't even know there was an MGM Plus streaming service. It's called There's Something Wrong with the Children. Family takes a weekend trip with longtime... Most people already know this. Family takes a trip with longtime friends and their two young children, but they suspect something supernatural when the kids behave strangely after disappearing into the woods overnight. Oh, that does sound kind of spooky. All right, so there you go. That's a few things happening this weekend at the theaters and online, and we're going to wrap up today's show with the odd news. Yay!
Slap some bacon on a biscuit and let's go. We're burning daylight.
It's the world of strange. A world gone wacky.
Out here, due process is a bullet.
And some of the scariest people on the planet.
I think you're bluffing. Be afraid.
You know, you look mighty pretty when you get mad.
It's your odd news on KCHW.
Just sit back and enjoy the show.
All right, Chuck Ritchie is up first, and he is going to deliver you a news headline followed by a bad joke. We call it News Attack. Chuck?
This one is actually a good joke.
Okay.
Anthropologists found that our ancestors made it outside of the species 3 times.
Huh.
That must have been a heck of a weekend.
Come on, aliens. NCAA tournament is underway. Finally, something to distract me from TikTok while I just sit around this house.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Although I'll stick to TikTok.
All right.
Yeah. The seasons will soon change.
Yay.
You can tell because Joe Biden has already switched from his winter aviators to his spring aviators.
He doesn't look cool in them, but that's what he's trying.
Nobody looks cool in aviator sunglasses.
Oh, yes, they
Nobody
do.
has ever looked cool in aviator sunglasses.
Poll shows that half of Americans believe the U.S. is in a recession. Mind you, most Americans can't really define recession or spell it. 10% of those polled think a recession is when the buffet runs out of pudding.
That is rough.
Oh, sorry,
that is
just
rough.
a joke.
Especially if it's chocolate.
Oh, yeah.
Survey finds that it's about a third of the year. The survey finds that it's about the 3rd year of marriage that a partner's idiosyncrasies become major irritations, like that annoying habit of sleeping with other people. Oh.
You hear that,
should've
honey?
read that
We got
first.
3 years. Study found that men perform better on memory tests if, first, they take a look at a picture of an attractive woman. Wow, I bet you a guy wrote that. Of course, the memories go back to being lousy if their wives ask them what they were looking at. Oh, no, nothing, just a picture on my phone.
Nothing, just looking at my phone, just scrolling.
Nothing happening here. Nope.
It's like with a kid. Anytime you say, "What are you doing?" and the answer is nothing, it's not. It's never nothing.
That's right. Your turn, Chuck.
Oh, is it my turn?
I think
okay.
so.
Oh, yeah.
It's that memory test. You failed.
Right? I failed. Scientists report that wild gorillas sing and hum while they eat. That's because no one has the nerve to tell them to be quiet.
No. YouTube is raising the price of its YouTube TV service to over $70 a month. You might as well go get, Starlink or DirecTV or something. $70 a month for YouTube TV.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's what we use instead of cable, and we got to notice yesterday.
Oh, really? Really?
Mm-hmm.
That? So along with that, they're changing.
It went from $68 a month to $72 a month. So not a huge change, but still,
that's a lot.
It was already expensive.
Yeah,
but you get more. It's a better value than cable.
Okay, you get a lot more
and
channels.
Cable's still more expensive. So there's that.
What about if you just decide I'm going to get 5 streaming services and call it good?
Well, we also have the 5 streaming services on top of that. So.
All right. They're also renaming YouTube TV, so it'll make more sense. They're calling it GreedTube. On to the world of wacky but true. So we don't add anything to these stories like dumb jokes. It's totally self-contained by the person who committed the crime or the stupid action. But we might add a movie sound effect, which I have a few of today. First stories from Cincinnati. A couple there filed a police report after their rug was stolen from their front porch. Then a week later, the rug was returned along with a note. Doorbell camera footage from the home of Caitlin Jarvis and Jim Gottfried shows a woman walking up to the patio, carefully moving around the patio furniture and delicately folding up the rug. She even appears to take time to shake the rug dust off into the flower beds. The couple filed a theft report with police and shared the doorbell camera video on social media. About a week later, the same woman came back with the rug and placed it neatly on the porch with a note that says, "I'm exceedingly apologetic for taking your rug. It was an honest mistake. I was trying to pick up a free rug from a Craigslist offer, and I obviously got the wrong one."
Wow.
Sure.
So that's your final answer.
Shortly after we moved in here, I went out to water the lawn, and all of our garden hoses and all of our sprinklers were gone from our yard. They were just gone.
No way.
And and I posted about it on the local social media, local Facebook groups. And about 2 days later, neatly coiled up with the sprinklers all piled in the middle of them, was our hoses and our sprinklers returned to us.
Wow. So they had a change of heart. Oh.
Well, either that or somebody's parent saw the post.
Oh, and the hoses seemingly showed up at the same time. Sure.
Although I can't, I have a hard time believing that a kid though would steal garden hoses. Unless maybe it was just a prank. Could have just been a prank. This one, a driver in the UK gave a fake driver's license to an officer at a traffic stop. The license featured Homer Simpson. The license had an image of Homer where the driver's photo should be and featured the name Homer Simpson at the top.
That's a lot of trouble for a fake driver's license.
Yeah, it is.
Or was it fake?
Well, if it isn't the leader of the Wiener Patrol boning up on his nerd lesson. You want the truth? You want the truth? You can't handle the truth!
See, it might have been Homer. Bus driver pretty perplexed when he pulled up to the curb in the UK, and a parking warden immediately stepped up and gave him a ticket for blocking a bus stop. Bus driver was perplexed because he was behind the wheel of an actual giant bus that had stopped there to let passengers board. The warden told him the zone was restricted. The bus driver asked, "Restricted to who?" And he was told, "Buses." Well, the parking warden didn't understand the irony. The city council did and canceled the ticket. This is what the parking warden had to say as he left the scene.
To the idiot-mobile.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. I don't get it.
So this, yeah. So a police sergeant in Philadelphia was fired in 2011 for allegedly punching his estranged wife. Wow. Then reinstated through the grievance process. He's been arrested again, this time allegedly for hitting 3 people and hurling racial and homophobic slurs after someone turned off the country music he was listening to in a bar. St. James Graber Jr. was charged last week with multiple counts of aggravated assault, making terroristic threats, simple assault, and recklessly endangering another person. An internal affairs investigation found that Graber became enraged when someone switched the jukebox to R&B or hip-hop.
Ooh. You know, that proves my point I've been saying for, at least 40 years, that listening to country music lowers your IQ.
Or leads to violence.
Yes. See, there's your proof.
I don't want you listening to any angry music.
The Carpenters are angry?
Don't be naive, Dave. Close to you, we've only just begun. Songs of madness and obsession.
It's true.
Country music drives me insane, so there's that.
All right. On to Poland, where they're. Did you see that in the news? Poland is giving Ukraine 4 F-16 fighter jets, and so is Slovakia, which I didn't know Slovakia had fighter jets.
Right.
All right. In Poland, plans were made for a big bank robbery. The robbers stormed in, and one of them ordered the teller to open the cash drawer. The other robber then used pepper spray to put her out of action so they could grab that money. Only thing was unaccounted for, the heating duct that was on high, directly behind her, and blew the pepper spray back into the robbers' faces. That's awesome.
Run away!
Yeah. Here you go. Check this one out.
Prepare to meet Mr. Angry Eyes.
Angry Eyes. You ever been pepper sprayed, Chuck?
I have.
Why doesn't that surprise me?
It was an intoxicated person at a party that thought it would be fun to just spray the room.
Oh.
Yeah. And it was indeed not fun. Yeah. You ever been sprayed?
Oh, never. Not that I'm going to admit to on the radio anyways. Here we go. I think you're up, buddy.
A power company in China cut off a woman's power supply over a debt and refused to reconnect her until she paid up. Instead, she stripped off in front of the staff at the power company's offices. Wow. Staff called police, who persuaded the woman to get dressed. As soon as police left, however, she then took her clothes off for a second time, and exasperated officials then agreed to reconnect her power without payment. What? It worked?
That did not teach her any lesson.
Hold on a second. I'm going to City Hall.
Yeah, so I hear that works in Chihuahua. If you can't pay your bill, just go into City Hall naked.
Just for disclaimer purposes, don't.
That was a joke.
Don't.
It was just a joke. All right, let's go live to that scene.
Uh-oh! Put your clothes back on!
All right, last one. Daytona Beach, Florida. A man was bitten by a 9-foot alligator after he answered his front door. This is like Land Shark from old Saturday Night Live. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? Land Shark. Scott
Oh, that got the dogs excited.
Land Shark. Scott Hollingsworth said he was watching TV with his wife when he heard a bump at the door. When he opened the door, his leg got clamped on by a 9-foot alligator. Hollingsworth said it was dark outside. His first thought was it could have been a big dog attacking him. A trapper called by Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission found that gator and euthanized it. Oh, man. And some live recordings from that event.
Mama, another gator got in the house. Another gator!
Whose dog is this?
All right, we're going to wrap up your show with this one more time.
Top of the morning, laddies. Let me cut you an Irish rose.
You really don't want me to have fun on St. Patrick's Day?
It is the closest that the Irish will ever get to Christmas.
Woo! I just beat green! I love St. Patrick's Day. I mean, it is the greatest holiday. I mean, it's a religious holiday centered around bars.
Woo! St. Patrick's Day. I love how they made the river green.
Actually, my nuclear plant did that.
I was looking for a reason to binge drink.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
I couldn't help but notice that your breath doesn't smell like alcohol.
Paint your whole body green.
The last St. Patrick's Day ever.
Irish people were nearly wiped out by a potato famine.
Same thing every year. Up at the crack of dawn, drinking, fighting, throwing up.
One Irishman said, "Could you turn the entire ocean into Guinness beer?"
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Have you been drinking?
Come from an Irish family. St. Patrick's Day was our big holiday. The night before we'd hang up our stockings. In the morning they'd be full of beer.
I'm from a big family. Yeah, well, not by Irish standards. Only 6 kids.
I don't drink, which is not what you're supposed to do when you're Irish.
Today, I'm going to be making green beer.
Angelina Jolie is excited about St. Patrick's Day. She adopted a leprechaun.
St. Patrick's Day. Cinco de Mayo for white people.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
All right, there you go. Have a great weekend. Thank you very much,
Happy
Chuck
St.
Ritchie.
Patty's Day.
You bet. Thank you, Chuck.
Don't forget to stop by this evening for a free green body painting in the parking lot of the KCHW radio station.
Yeah, should we tell Michelle that's what's going on?
Yes. Free full body painting in the parking lot.
Oopsie. That may or may not be true. We'll talk to you on Tuesday with my sister Val and Chihuahua's most Irish person. Who is Chihuahua's most Irish person, Chuck?
That would be Brandon Hansen, I believe.
Yeah, he does. He is definitely a poster child for Ireland. Yeah. So if you see Brandon Hansen today at any point, or if he has his phone number, go ahead and text him. Tell him he is Chihuahua's most Irish person. And then we'll make more fun of him on Tuesday.
Wow.
I love you, Brandon. But you really got some
Goodbye,
right
everyone.
Have a great weekend. Keep on listening to Northern Light Public Radio.
Bye, Marion.
This is what we're driving today, Chuck.
To the Idiot Mobile.
I drive that every day.
You want the truth? You want the truth? You can't handle the truth!